A visit to Nara is highly recommended if you're visiting Kansai region. Relatively quiet and slow paced compared to the bursting and touristy Kyoto or Osaka, this compact city boasts 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It is also the home of Japan's unique bowing deers. Once claimed to be the divine messengers of the gods, they were fiercely protected that killing one is punishable by death. Although no longer considered sacred, these animals are still an important part of the city. They roam freely and became an iconic symbol of Nara. Like most touristy places, street foods are abundant.
So I'm having ice cream with vanilla and matcha. This, please. Okay. Arigato. Arigato.
Since a day trip is hardly enough to explore the whole city, we chose which site interests us the most and spent our time leisurely exploring it. High on our list was the Nara Park, where people can exchange polite salutations with the deers. Situated right next to the deer park is the Buddhist temple complex of Todai-ji. Its Daibutsu-den, or the Great Buddha Hall, is one of Japan's most significant temples and a landmark of Nara. It also houses the 15-meter-long bronze Buddha statue, one of the largest in the world, and flanked on both sides by the smaller golden bodhisattvas. In front of Todai-ji Temple sits a wooden monk sculpture, which, according to many believers, possesses healing properties. For lunch, we found a restaurant on the side streets that serves Western food but uses certain type of Wagyu. We had a steak, which was very tender and juicy, and some tasty burger. We ordered the sides of fries and onion rings. The Garden of Isuien is a nationally designated famous scenic spot of Japan. It is a traditional Japanese-style garden that dates back to the Edo period. With its lush seasonal flora and surrounding gushing calm waters, one can simply bathe in its serenity. We were met by a Japanese pensioner at the entrance who was very keen to give us a tour of the place. This kind gentleman refused any tip and whose only compensation is being able to hone his English skills. That and a signature on his guest book that he proudly shows his family at the end of the day. He spends a few days a week as a volunteer tour guide of this beautiful garden. Despite the language barrier, we had a lovely time.
Japanese Tutsuji.
Tutsuji. Yeah. It's red, no?
Spring green.
In spring green. Ah. Red. Ah, very beautiful. Yeah.
Very interesting.
We even managed to crack some jokes despite of not being able to fully understand each other. Wonders of human nature, I suppose.
Making Japanese
Yeah.
ramen.
Yeah, but very expensive.
After bowing several times to show our gratitude, we said our goodbye to this good-natured man, who was ecstatic to have added German nationals to his guest book. Later that afternoon, we found ourselves at a pedestrian-friendly street that is lined with shops, cafes, and restaurants. Smacked in the middle of it all is Nakata Nido, a known establishment that makes yumogi mochis, a traditional Japanese sweets that made out of mochi and mugwort leaves. We are lucky to witness how these mochi masters rapidly pound the dough to submission. This unique and traditional technique yield the softest, most pliable and delicious mochi I've ever tasted. It's filled with red bean paste and rolled in kinako powder. It's best eaten when freshly made and still warm. Next thing I tried was a citrus fruit-filled mochi from the neighboring shop. Sweet and tangy, it was a delight to eat. Our self-imposed food tour continues. This time, we spotted another shop that sells fruit-filled sandwiches. Japanese fluffy white bread encasing a cloud of cream and fruits of your choice. Hubby liked it, me, not so much. We were stuffed, but the smell wafting from this bakery is hard to resist. Trays upon trays of freshly baked melon pan were taken out from the oven, enticing bypass. The sweet, biscuity smell calls our name, so we bought and shared one. This, my friends, is another must-try food item while in Japan.
Very awkward.
We ended our day with a classic Japanese meal. We had some crispy tempura. We grilled some vegetables and meat on the table. We also shared a plate full of plum and melt-in-your-mouth sushi. And we finished the meal off with some warm sake. Thank you for the memories, Japan.